Hello everyone, welcome back to the Shave and Tell channel. Today I'm gonna take a look at a classic razor. This is the Merkur Progress over here, a very popular razor, which I believe, if I recall correctly, I was reading somewhere, was being in production since the early 1950s or 1960s, I'm not sure, but whatever the right period is for the production start of this one, it's quite impressive that it's been in production for so long, and for the most part the design, from what people are highlighting online, is pretty much the same since the very first razor. I'm sure that probably they had to do some tiny improvements as the production tools were getting better and better over time through the years, but this is impressive to be out available for the customers for quite a while. And you may already identify that my Merkur Progress looks a little bit different. I just picked this kind of like bottom customizable part from the razor company, and this is the bronze beehive, I believe. I'm not sure if these are still available, but they're really cool. I also have the original part, so usually this part here at the bottom is with that classic plastic looking ending here for the knob. And quite a few people are complaining that it looks cheap, that it looks not on brand. But to be fair, seeing it in person, obviously I use my piece. I like this one better, I cannot deny that, but I don't mind the look of this one as well. So yeah, just, it's a design, so it's quite subjective. Some people like it, some people don't. But the most important thing is this is a tool for shaving, so the shaving will be the important part. No official details about the different blade gap settings here. As you can see, there are some numbers, or just because they're quite shiny, probably not very visible on camera, but the numbers are from 1 to 5, and there is a plus mark in between each number, so you can roughly adjust it to 1, 1.5, 2, and you have that half step indicator if you want to fine-tune the efficiency level of your razor. What else? It's a hefty one. It's not stainless steel. This is chrome-plated metal alloy material. The system is two-piece, few turns, and the top cap is being removed. You can also pull this part if you need to dry it, if there is some water being there, not being able to dry. And once you pull it, it's pretty much identical to this one over here. I'm happy that I remembered to bring this one so I can show you. So the overall blade loading system is two-piece. Nothing really fancy regarding the top cap. The usual side pins are here, and a very long middle pole for the screwing mechanism. What else are we gonna use for the shave? I decided to go back to one of my favorites over here. I have Macduff's Canadian Tuxedo. Of course, we have a matching splash. Macduff splashes are fantastic. And over here in my fine accoutrement bowl, I have it already lathered. As you can see, beautiful lather, nice and shiny. And I'm using my outer brush, and you probably cannot tell, but I did a small change. Originally here there was a G5C knot. Forgot the name of the knot. And I decided to replace it by another knot by AP Shave Co. But this time I placed the Pure Bliss 26mm knot. And this is my third shave with it, and I really enjoy it. I already did shaves, few lathering tests with the knot as well, and also one face lathering shave. I really enjoy the knot, and I'm kind of like getting more shaves with it under my belt. Okay, back to the razor. Let's load it with a blade. And for today's shave, I decided to go back to Gillette Nasset. So these are the first blades that I tested from my very first test pack with razor blades. and they were so much better than the ones that I used before, because my shaving journey started with blades that are not great, in my opinion. The Rockwell blades and the RK blades that come with the Hansen razor. These are the first two blades that I tried, which honestly, my advice now is whoever buys their first razor, if you end up having these blades, just spend money on buying a sample pack and enjoy way better shave, because the blade is making a difference. And Gillette Nasset is one of the blades that I really like and I haven't used for a while. Here is it, the top cap. Placing the blade. Just for convenience, so you can see, here is the blade. And oh, one thing that I just messed up, and it's good to mention, people were discussing it online. So when you assemble your razor, you may see here a triangular mark, and on the top cap, I'll try to show you, you have that small line over here in the center. Hopefully that's visible enough. So those two must be aligned, otherwise the setting or the top cap alignment will be off. That's important to highlight because nowhere in the box there is a single note about it, but it's important to know, because if you don't know, the razor will probably not have proper blade alignment, and as you're adjusting how efficient you want this razor to be, you're not gonna probably have good experience. So here we are at setting 1. This is not my first shave, I have a few shaves with it already. My last shave was actually with this, and I used it to the maximum, setting 5, I believe. I had 3 or 4 days of growth, and it took care of it like no problem at all. It was very, very efficient and smooth shave. So today I have around 2 days of growth, and let's keep it in the middle ground, around 2.5. This will be first time that I use the Gillette Nasset in this one. Funny thing with that previous shave that I used on maximum setting, I used Gillette Silver Blue, and I believe it was the 7th time I'm pushing that blade as far as possible to kind of like reach a point where it's not comfortable, and that blade delivered still a fairly comfortable and smooth shave. I was impressed for the 7th shave with it. Okay, a lot of off topics. I'm gonna prepare quickly my face with some water. Okay, nice warm water and well hydrated lather. My skin is still a bit dry. I guess that's the weather. We're getting some days that are a bit warmer, but some that are back to cold and rainy weather, and that probably affects my skin to some extent. So yeah, today that McDuff is extra hydrated. Yeah, the Pure Bliss knot is getting softer with each shave as well. I can feel that getting more and more comfortable. I really like it. Let me know in the comments if you have tried it. Look at that lather, beautiful, very well hydrated with nice peaks. And yeah, that knot, similar to G5C, it's from AP Shave Co, but I believe that this is released after the G5C. And yeah, I may actually like it better than G5C myself. But again, like everything in our hobby, that's subjective, and different things work on a different way for everybody. Okay, first pass with Merkur Progress, setting 2.5, and on the side, as you can see, the top cap and the base are properly aligned as the central indicator here. So that's just something that it's one of those things that if you don't look online or someone mentioning it, I don't know how are you going to learn about it by yourself, maybe by accident, and hopefully it's not a cutting related accident. Anyway, nice hefty razor. Also forgot to mention that this one here is the short handle version, and the Merkur Progress 500 is the one that it's with short handle. The Merkur 510 I think is the one with the long handle, and they have short handle travel razor version that comes with a plastic case, Actually, that's the one that I picked from the razor company. It was one of their discounted offerings. It was scratch and then with a small crack on the case, but I didn't really care for the case, so I decided to pick it up for a small discount. Okay, let's start. And before I do with the first glide, I want to point out that, yeah, there is a decent amount of overhang over here. Something to be mindful if you're a head shaver especially, or when you go under your nose, just be aware of it. Okay, first pass. Some people online mention that this is an aggressive razor. Yeah, you can dial it up and ramp up the efficiency, but on setting 2.5 halfway there, it's very comfortable. It's with just a tiny bit of blade feel, just allowing you to feel how your angle is. The razor glides very smooth, good efficiency, and also there is very specific feedback to this razor, audio feedback. And I assume that it's because of the ladder channels over here. They're not the traditional ladder channels that we see around the base plates of the razors. They're kind of like nice, big openings under the razor itself from the inner part over here. Reminds me a little bit of the Mueller Rocca, just the ladder channel positions. And maybe because of that extra space, when the blade is going over the whiskers, there is that nice sound, which I really like. It's kind of like acoustic, more echoey type of a sound for a razor, if that makes sense to you. Very comfortable and pleasant. Excellent first pass. Even on setting 2.5, the first pass, being mild and not really irritating for the skin, there is a decent efficiency. Okay, for the second pass, I was thinking to do maybe just a 2-pass shave, but let's do a 3-pass. I really like Canadian Tuxedo by McDuff's, so let's go for the second pass across the grain, and I dialed it up to setting 4 over here, as you can probably see. But yeah, the marking is not the greatest, and so yeah, regarding the knurling, something to mention: if your hand gets wet and you rely on holding it only here, the razor will feel slippery, especially if you have some soap on your hand. So the short handle for me makes it very comfortable to kind of like hold it over here with my pinky. That way the razor stays nice and secure. So yeah, the knurling is one of the obvious things you can tell pretty much by seeing it on the picture. Yeah, that's something to be expected. I don't know how the long handle feels. Let me know in the comments if you have the Merkur Progress with the long handle. Do you feel that it's also as comfortable as this one? I dialed it to setting 4 and I don't feel much of a difference. Not much of a blade feel there. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Very light blade feel. Just letting you know that it's there. And I almost feel that, yeah, from setting 1 to 4, there is kind of like tiny incremental change from every shave that I try and I play with the settings. Yeah, I have more of a feeling when I go towards 5. That's when you feel that the gap gets quite significant and the blade feeling increases. But It's still comfortable even on setting 5. Regarding the access under the nose, I myself don't have much of an issue with it, but even if you see kind of like the design, you see how it's kind of like more rounded and extruded towards the top part, and also the base here is taking a little bit more real estate in terms of thickness compared to some other razors, especially the modern design heads. They're a bit more compact. So if you're sensitive to nose, under the nose access of your kind of like whiskers here, that might be something that disturbs you. I myself personally don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue even with the Rockwell 6S or 6C heads, which are probably a little bit bulkier than that. Just something that I want to point out. If you're in that category that you're picky, just be mindful, or just try to find one from some of your friends to test before you decide to purchase one. But in terms of smoothness, efficiency, boy, feels great. Even after 2 pass, well, the first one was on setting 2.5. Here I ramped it up on setting 4. I feel that I'm kind of like good to go. Obviously, yes, I have the pickup, especially on below the chin area spots to be done. But yeah, that's good. If I am in a rush, I'll be ready to go now. But let's prepare the face for the third pass. Okay, time for the third pass. Against the grain. I'm gonna keep it at setting 4. It's very comfortable. You may see discussions, as I mentioned, that people highlighting that this might be too aggressive of a razor, but honestly, it's so smooth. And yes, it's efficient. And as long as you don't add too much pressure to it, you're gonna be absolutely fine. And in setting 4, setting 5, it's really comfortable. Obviously, depending on what your preference in terms of blade feel, you have full control, and I don't think that you're gonna compromise too much of an efficiency. Even if you like less blade feel, great audio feedback, I love it. But yeah, even if you like way less blade feel, I better not talk when I do this. You will have the right setting for you, and you're gonna have a very good efficiency. And that classic design of the head really allows you to play with the angle if you like to adjust your against the grain or cross the grain path to be more towards the top cap, riding the top cap, or towards the base plate. The base plate. It's very forgiving and very easy to use. The only thing that kind of like stops me really mentioning that this might be excellent option for absolute beginner, for a first razor, is the fact that you have that dial to adjust everything, and obviously the no instruction part with the alignment of the top cap. I think it's still good for absolute beginners to try finding the razor that keeps things simple and on point, so you have some time to shave with it, and really add as little variables to the shaving experience as possible, so you can identify what you like and also learn your technique, see how your skin reacts, how The shaving goes for your whiskers. We all have different type of beard. Excellent. That will do. Time to rinse the face and move to the post shave. Before we move to the alum, let's just confirm that the shave is all good. Yeah, really good. Tiny pickup left on my problematic spots, but for the most part we're in the BBS territory. Excellent. Let's not chase the full BBS, but see what our friend the alum block thinks about the shave. I have to say, regarding the blade, I didn't enjoy the Gillette Nasset in this razor compared to the silver blue. Alright, I have to say that it's just a tiny tingling, nothing much. Good shave. But my impression of not liking the blade, I think that I have the most tingling from the alum using the Progress with the Nasset. It might be that this blade, I find it a bit more kind of like flexible and sharp, so that may contribute to a little bit more chattery sensation and impacting tiny bit. I'm very picky here, highlighting this tiny bit, the smoothness when it comes to the against the grain pass. That was the main thing that I didn't like with the Nasset. Against the grain is not as smooth as my previous shaves with other blades. Rinse my face from the alum. Don't forget to do that. In my opinion, it's very important because your skin may start feeling a little bit of irritation and additional dryness. So make sure that you rinse your face before you move to your favorite splash or balm here, Canadian Tuxedo. I'm so happy that this, from being exclusive and alt release for the Canadian wet shavers groups, over here is the logo. It's now available and Sean is releasing it. I don't know if it's in stock everywhere, but I do hope that if it's sold out, which I would imagine because it's excellent scent. And McDuff's is one of my favorite soaps and it splashes tons of skin food. So if it's sold out, I really hope that it will make a return, because whoever missed on it should be able to grab one in the future. Okay, that was enjoyable shave. All of my other shaves with the Merkur Progress were excellent and very enjoyable. You can see it's a classic design, very old, from the 50s, if I'm correct. If not, it's from the 60s. Very classy. This modification over here, it's a little bit pricey. And speaking of pricey, I forgot to mention what's the price point of this razor. The razor, I think you can find it in the ballpark of Canadian, on the Canadian websites for 100 Canadian dollars. And I think that the version with long handle, it's around 130 Canadian dollars, if I recall correctly. So it's a little bit more pricey to get the one. And this one is, I think, it was around 60 or 70 Canadian dollars to get it from TRC. It's a pricey add-on, but I decided to spoil myself and order one. And yeah, I really like how it looks. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments, have you tried the Progress? For me, it's a brand new razor that I purchased for my collection, and I'm very happy. The only thing that I regret is not buying this razor earlier, so I can have more shaves with it. It's so good, it's very smooth, and yeah, if you look for something that it's very flexible depending on your needs, either daily shave or once a week shaves, this will take care of it with no issue. Pick your favorite blade, see how it goes, and I'm sure that you're gonna have excellent shaves. What else did we use? As you saw the splash, you know what the soap is. If you skipped through the start, Canadian Tuxedo was the soap. Excellent soap by Macduff's. And the brush was the outer with the Pure Bliss synthetic knot that I placed a few days ago. Very nice knot, I enjoy this. Thanks for joining me for this shave. If you're watching during the weekend when this video will be out, enjoy the rest of the weekend and the upcoming week ahead, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care.